Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. I'm Matt, that's Alonso. Going through a little Hollywood news today. News broke today that Seth Rogen is going to be playing legendary newscaster Walter Cronkite.
Yes.
This I got to see.
Yeah, the film's called Newsflash. It's gonna be directed by David Gordon Green, who has done a mix over the years of indies and big studio projects. His most recent film was Stronger with Jake Gyllenhaal and Tatiana Maslany. And this is gonna be a film about the CBS News coverage of the JFK assassination, which a lot of people look at as sort of a turning point in TV news coverage and sort of live coverage in general. And so yeah, I'm sure the initial reaction of a lot of people is like, what, Seth Rogen? But I think it's worth stepping back to recall that at least twice now, Rogen has proven he has dramatic chops as an actor. First of all, in Steve Jobs.
Oh yeah.
Where he played Steve Wozniak.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He's really good in that and has real heft.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, not a lot of people saw this one, but Sarah Polley's film Take This Waltz, where he plays the husband of Michelle Williams.
Okay.
Not a
Right, I didn't see that either.
wackety schmackety movie for him, and it's a romantic drama, mainly about her sort of disillusion with her marriage and moving on and stuff. And he plays a character that could have easily just sort of been like, either her doormat or like,
Right.
the bad guy that drives her away, but he's neither. It's just like it's a marriage that doesn't work out for whatever reason. But he's a good guy and he's got good things about him, and it's a straightforward dramatic role. Actually, that movie also provides a dramatic role for Sarah Silverman.
Yeah, I've seen. Well, I saw I Smile Back.
Okay, right, yeah,
She's very dramatic.
That was after this one, yeah. But yeah, no. So both, there's that joke of like, the clown always wants to play Hamlet,
right?
And there's a history of comedians turning in really strong dramatic performances, like Robin Williams in 1 Hour Photo, or Jim Carrey in Truman Show. I think there's something about the nature of performing and timing and improvisation that allows people that we mainly know as comedians, they does give them a set of skills that they can transfer to other things. Obviously, Walter Cronkite is an iconic role, and so that's going to be a bit of a stretch. But I salute Rogen for making that stretch, and Green for sort of seeing that as a way that it works. We'll see if he pulls it off.
We'll see if he pulls it off. I think in general, you raise an interesting point about comics doing dramatic roles and vice versa. I think that in general, I am more comfortable with a comedic actor doing something serious, because oftentimes comedy relies on, look, over and above the timing, you'll see many times a comedic actor playing a role as if that character is taking themselves seriously and the character isn't mugging.
Right.
And so I think that's easier to slip into drama than to teach a dramatic actor comic timing.
It depends. I mean, like, I think a lot of the best SNL hosts, for instance, are the people who have stage training, just because they seem to. I think it's maybe that's just because they're the best at live television more than they're the best at comedy. But I think when you think about it, like, we didn't really think of Alec Baldwin as funny before SNL. That was really sort of where he kind of got to expend that more. I mean, like, he had made some comedies, but I mean, he was mainly known as like the David Mamet guy, as a screen actor. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it can work both ways. Obviously, there are examples of both going terribly wrong, but I think that there's a shared set of, like I said, of skills of just that actors have, and so
a very particular set of skills.
A particular set of skills, if you will. Yeah, Liam Neeson can be very funny when he feels like it.
True.
So yeah, I don't know.
This will be interesting.
Absolutely,
this will definitely be interesting. I mean, one of the things we don't really talk about that much, and I look forward to what this movie gets into, is that was Cronkite's coverage of those events around that assassination. Like, it was this redefining moment of news media, and looking back on it now, I don't know that we have anyone in the news media that speaks with the authority that Cronkite had already at that point and then continued to have for decades.
Right, I mean, certainly over the course of the 60s, when you look at the way he covered like the moon landing and a lot of other stuff, I mean, like, he was, again, this was an era where there were 3 networks, there wasn't a ton of competition. And yeah, I think it's a different era now in terms of there are so many news outlets, and there are so many different voices. It's we don't even. I don't think we look at authority figures in the same way necessarily, or trust in the same way. So I don't know that that might have been an era that has come and gone, that people wield the kind of clout that Cronkite had. But yeah, that was certainly, of that moment, he was the guy. He was the unassailable sort of like, spokesman of the American people, like the voice that people turn to for that sort of thing. Look, if nothing else, the bar has been lowered because Robert Redford was so bad as Dan Rather in Truth, that like, I think Rogen has, maybe the advantage here, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right, well, that's gonna be an interesting one to watch. I believe it's gonna come out. Do we even have a date as to when we might?
Has it started shooting yet, or is this like what's?
No. Eye towards having the film ready on the 22nd, which would be the 55th anniversary of JFK's shooting death. So that would be
November 22nd, 19. No, he was 2018. Yeah, so that would be.
All right, better
get busy. We'll see what happens.
All right.